Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Math Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. We're going to talk about the general form of integration now, and like I said in the previous video, integration aims to reverse differentiation. So like I always say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's very important you do so that when I upload new videos, you'll be the first person to know. All right, so in the subsequent videos of this in this series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to discuss what's an indefinite integration, what's a definite integration, and I'm going to talk about some of the rules as well. But um, because there is some ground rules or there's like a general form of integration, I'm going to talk about that now, all right? So one of the first thing you need to know is that when you're integrating, the the question must be in an index form. Okay, so it must be in an index form. So please, you can go to my videos on indices. Okay, you can go to my videos on indices and have a look at it and see what you can make of it. So it must be in an index form. That's the main thing you need to keep in mind. It must be an index form. So before you start to integrate, make sure that the question, the value of y, is in an index form before you start. Now, there are three rules of integration. I'm going to write it down here quickly. So three rules of integration. So for the general form of integration. So there are three rules that you need to keep in mind. There are three rules. Okay. Now, the first thing that you need to keep in mind is that you need to add 1 to the power. Now, the next thing is that you divide the original question, or you divide by the new power. All right, you divide by the new power. And number 3 is you then add C. Okay. So the concept of adding C is only for indefinite integration. Okay. So only in indefinite. So when you're doing this, you add 1 to the power, you divide by the new power, and you add C. All right. So these are the three rules of the general form of integration. So, but the thing you have to keep in mind is that you must keep it in what? It must be first in an index what? Form. And also integration is the reverse of the process of differentiation. All right, let's pick an example. All right. So let's say we have this now. Let's assume in this example here, let's assume number 1, if, all right, dy over dx is equal to 7x squared, find the equation of y. Okay, so the same thing, we now go to the first thing, step 1, you add 1 to the power. So what we're going to do now, you can see that this question here is in an index form. So we can go straight so that the first step, step 1, you're going to add 1 to the power. So when we talk about power, is the power of x, okay? Or maybe I can add it there, to the power of the x variable. All right, so you add it to the variable, not the constant. And you divide by the new power of the variable. Okay, so please, it's not the constant, it's just the variable. Okay, so add 1 to the power. Then step 2, you now divide by the new power. So you divide by the new power. So this is 2x plus 1. So you can see you divide by the new power of the variable. So it's going to become divided by what? 2 plus 1. All right. So this is going to give us 7x3 divided by 3. And then step 3, what do? You add c. So step 3 is now going to be 7x3 divided by 3 plus c. That is the answer for that. Okay? That will be that for that. So basically, you can write it that way. Okay? So the next one is that if dy over dx is equal to 4x squared. So let's make it like, in case we have it like a quadratic equation. And how do you want to solve this? Okay? So number 2, if we say dy over dx is equal to 4x squared minus 3x plus 2, all right? Find the equation of the curve. Okay? Find the equation of a curve. So if it's 4x squared minus 3x plus 2. So now the same principle we've talked about, the first step is to add 1 to the power of the variable. So now you can see it's in an index form, so that means we can solve this. So that means you can have step 1 is going to give us 4x2 plus 1. Now 3x. Now this same thing as x to the power 1, right? Plus 1 plus 2 is the same thing as saying x to the power 0. Okay? So n to the power 0 will give you 1 plus 1. Then step 2, we now divide by the new power. All right? So it's going to give us 4x2 plus 1 divided by 2 plus 1 minus 3x1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus 1 plus 2x0 plus 1 divided by 0 plus 1. So that will give us 4x3 divided by 3 minus 3x2 divided by 2 plus 2x. Now step 3, the next thing you do is that you then add what? You then add c. So that will give us 4x cubed over 3 minus 3x squared over 2 plus 2x plus c. Now remember that you can only add c when you have an indefinite integration. So don't worry about that. I'm going to explain that concept of indefinite integration soon. Okay? Then you will understand what I mean by that. So, and also in addition to that, to find the value of c, we'll need extra information. So don't worry, I'm going to discuss this in the next video. All right. So what I want you to do, I want you to try these examples. Okay. I want you to try these examples. Then you can put the answer in the comment section. All right. So let's say you are given find the equation. All right. Of family of curves. Okay, so let's assume you are given the y over the x is equal to x squared plus 2. And also let's assume you are given this other curve that the y over the x was 5x cubed plus 2x. Then number 2, let's assume we're also told to find the indefinite integration. Integral of the following. Okay, so let's assume we're told to find the cube root of x, dx. So this sign here means integrate, or we were told to integrate 12 x raised to the power of 5 dx. So one of the tip I can tell you for this one, okay? One thing I can tell you that make sure you convert to index first. Okay? Convert to index form first. And that is it. So for this question, make sure you convert to the index form first before you start solving. And for this, you can just go straight and solve because it's already in index form. So you can try solving this and you can put your answer in the comment section and we'll see how you get on with it. So other subscribers can also talk about it. Now, the next thing I need you to know is that the thing to keep at the back of your mind is that when you're talking about the integral general form, you add 1 to the power of the variable, you divide by the new power, and you add c. Is that okay? Good. All right. Okay, and that is that for that. Now, the next video, I'm going to talk about how do we find the value of this c. So we're talking about the c. How do you find the value? All right. So it's important that you subscribe so that when I post a new video on how to find the value for c, you'll be the first person to know. All right. I'm going to see you in the next video where we're going to talk about how to find the value for c. All right. I'll see you soon.